I felt beaten after last episode. I was seeing so much rust everywhere, but I decided to use my brush and very gently bring all this beautiful metal shine again. So it gave me a bit more confidence and all the strength needed to continue with the second half of this project. Let's rebuild this braking system. I have done the passenger side too. So you can see all the important interfaces, they are perfectly clean. I'm showing you the ones that are on the top, but there are also below. For example, this one here, you need to clean below if you really want to do this properly. But about this suspension arm that I just removed, yeah, you will need to, well, unfortunately, there is a screw right here. This screw, you will not be able to get it out because you have the oil pan here, unless you remove the oil pan, or if you lower the subframe. As you can see here, only one bolt is enough. But when I was trying to remove the screw, well, to loosen the screw, the insert that is inside fell off, basically. That's why I have my magic skewer there. So what I'm trying to do is fix it in place. So the moment I have to bring it back together, basically, or tighten bolt, it will keep in place. I also had to loosen this bolt here and this one, which I believe they are from the steering rack, and then also this one here for the sway arm. Well, here we are, all good parts here, brand new. What are we replacing? Well, the wishbone or the suspension arm, cover plates, swivel joint, and then track rod, ball joint, and this is the anti-roll bar connecting link, rubber bushing. Let's see. Now that everything is compressed, do I have enough room to play? I mean, it shouldn't be. Okay, my suggestion, I think, let's go first this way. No. It's not in place. Oh, falling money. There you go. It looks like now it wants to be in place. If I do this, I don't think we need this. Well, hands out. And now that is in, you can just, oh gosh, it's really hard. Wow. There you go. That's all. Oh, poor piece of wood. One day I'll make you something out of you. Okay, that's one, that's two. Goes really well. That's one, that's two. Anti-roll bar bushing. That's a fun one. Here, no. Well, the big one goes here. Then you see the conical shape, so the tapered side, it goes towards the wishbone, so this way. And then on the other side we just repeat like in a mirrored way. So this one and this one, it goes this way. And then on top, a screw. This is going to be fun. Wait, because we need to place this one too. We just lift it through the hole. And you know what I mean. Yep. This way, It's a bit misaligned, no problem. Oh, I see. We actually have to make some pressure if we want to fit the bolt. Wow. Let me try this hand. So this one I can really clamp. Holy moly. Maybe I'm not made for this at all. So the problem is that we are struggling with our anti-roll bar bushings. So I'm gonna place this one. I'm hoping I will align this. Different. Much different. I hope I did it correctly. These are supposed to be symmetrical. I shouldn't have any. There's a bit of resistance. I'm thinking if this is the way it should be. I'm gonna read the instructions first. Well, I read the manual and of course I made a mistake. I placed them both and I was super happy. No. Then when you look at the suspension like strut and you see that this one is not aligned when they're supposed to be aligned, it's like tilted like this way and you're like, this is weird. So I went ahead and read, and what I should have done before, we all make mistakes. Do you see this water drop here? So it's this side here. This means that it needs to be pointing towards the front of the car. That means that the only position you can place this one, the only side you can place this ball joint is on the passenger side. This one, however, you tell me where is the water drop, and that's what it got me completely confused, because I said, well, they are generic, they are symmetrical, it should be just okay, but no, don't make the same mistake. Careful with your hands here, because I don't know if this is actually doing the right thing. Can I just lower this? Oh yes, now we're getting a bit more play here. I just have these two tools to apply the required torque of 35 Newton meters to that bolt. How am I planning to do this? Well, this is a little bit of an experiment. We know that torque equals the force times the distance. So if this is my bolt, this is the distance, and the torque should be applied perpendicular to this link. We have 0.18 meters times 10 is 1.8, and then 35 divided by 1.8, and there you go. It's around 20 kilos of force. Let's try it. There you go, 20, a bit more, just in case. There you go, that's it, 20. Well, I think it worked, very happy. So 20 kilograms times roughly 9.81, which is gravity constant, equals 196 Newton times the distance, which is 0.18 meters. Yeah, exactly, 35.32 Newtons plus error or whatever. Let's see if now I can get what I want. Yeah, I think so. I hope so. Oh yes, that's it. Torque spec for this one later. What's going on here? Well, there is a certain distance that it needs to be measured from the center of this ball joint to the beginning of this shaft. However, I don't have access right there, and it's gonna be a bit of a pain just to measure. What I do know is the distance at which this bolt was tightened, 50 newtons by the way. Okay, so this is the distance, and I know this one is smaller. But actually, is this the one I have to use? Not really, as you can see. I need to use the other one. Let's see if this one is the one. Exactly. Distance-wise, you can see they are not exactly the same. So I'm gonna calculate the difference and bring the ball down. I will replace this one and place long ones because I really prefer them much more. You have more thread in order to grasp this shaft. I will do it in the future because I'm planning to replace the whole thing. So Mr. Bilstein came here. Yeah, these are the right ones. Now, listen to this story because I think it's worth it. Why do we have two lengths that are valid for the same car, for the same track road? Well, this shortened one belongs to a previous version, right? And if your car came with the long ones, it's because it's like an optimized version. And it came right after this one. This is what the service manual tells. Don't try to fit these ones where you find these ones. So the length of the track road changes depending if your vehicle is from September 1999, which is 364 millimeters, or October 1999, which is 374 millimeters. Just bear that in mind because probably also the ball joint will be different. As I repeated before, don't mix and match because that wouldn't work. The required torques for the track rod nut is 50 Newton meters, and between the ball joint and the bearing housing, this self-locking nut is 35 Newton meters. All done. I think it's time to move to these two screws here. Holy moly. I cannot even remove it. Well, this one is just fine. I was a bit naughty. Yes, impact wrench on the other side and keeping the nut in place. I'm going to remove this one and place a new one, but I'm not going to tie it to spec. What a mess. This one is a pain in the ass, I don't know what to do. And this is what I ended up doing for the other one. Cut it in half. Because I couldn't do anything else. This one was a bit more forgiving. This one, no way. And now let's move on to the rear brake distributor or regulator. It's located on the rear of the vehicle, and as you can see here, there are some parts missing. There should be a connection between this part and the rear axle, and some nuts, some bolts on the top that are not really well placed. I decided to buy all these components that are only available from Volkswagen, and they are very pricey. And obviously I also decided to take a look on the inside to see if the seals are okay and the springs are okay, which were not, and it was also missing some grease. Now, if you're wondering what's the purpose of this part, well, when braking hard, all the weight of this car should be transferred to the front. So it's important to reduce the braking pressure towards the rear to prevent issues. Now I'm going to spend some time cleaning the master cylinder. I read that they are not meant to be repaired, that's why we have here this clip with no holes, so we can remove it. And if there is any leakage, the recommendation is to replace it. It must be replaced. Wow. Let's clean the floor a little bit. Brake cleaner. Much nicer. Hey! High five! Cleaning the pulses. I like the Dremel because it's not very invasive. There's like aluminum oxide just where the O-ring should sit, and I don't really like it. Much nicer. Well, now it looks much better. I think, yeah, way better than before. But the O-ring still has the same problem. I'm gonna try to take like a peek or something and remove it very gently. And I just, with the tip, I try to reach the edge where the white thingy is coming out. It's rust. I think it's aluminum oxide or a chemical reaction between the aluminum and the braking liquid. Pretty sure I can do this. Whoa. There is a lot here. Wow. This is moistened, and then we press. Then what we do, just place it here and around. Don't twist it, everything should just fall into place perfectly. There you go. Now we need to place it into the brake booster. Cut with the lines. This one needs to go this way as far as I know. This one that way. Everything has been thoroughly cleaned here, so interfaces must be obviously clean, free of debris. I got these nuts, stainless steel, self-locking. I think they will do a pretty good job here. There you go, it's already torqued. Now the four brake lines. Reservoir in. Don't forget about the little shaft you see right there. You need to make some pressure in there. Ta-da! Impressive. Well, time for the brake discs. I decided to go for a groove design because I believe this will not improve dramatically, but improve the braking performance, because I'm very concerned about it. This one's, yeah, well, you can see the condition. You can see how much the brake pad was really making contact with the surface. It should be a bit more than this, huh? Like this. This is a good contact point, but the grooves are just crazy. Let's see what we have here. So we have one. They are OE from Brembo. Oh, Brembo. And with screws. That's very cool. That's very cool. I was looking at you guys. For you guys. Okay. Easy peasy. Let's not forget about our cover plate. Let's start with this one. Yeah, this is what happens, you see? That's the drawback. Now, when something falls, it's not just a bolt, but a bolt and a washer. You may end up losing one of those. Yeah, it's more for slow. I want to do it this way. Why complicating? Okay. Well, it looks like we have something. It's looking pretty sick compared to before, by the way. Now, on the other side, just in case you have forgotten. Well, it's not the best job I ever made, but I think they look quite sick. All the mating interfaces, you can see they are not covered in paint, especially the one for the brake line. This one is not that important, but I didn't want to cover it in paint, and especially for the bushings, just a bit of grease will do. And for the piston, yeah, it's not perfect, but again, grease will do. Let's assemble them. fine. Now I'm just gonna push a little bit again. Shit. I'm sleepy, that's all. I'm gonna just apply a little bit of force. You see? There you go. You can see how in this case, because I just fit it in, the seal is not seated properly. So now it's my job to see if it's now in the right place. Yeah, it is all in the right place. Just press it back. It should be very easy to do it when there's no any braking liquid on the other side. That's it. Ta-da! 15 Newton meters. Brake pads in. It's been a few months and I haven't been able to continue. But I think you can tell what happened. Yes, we moved house. We managed to find another house. Literally, it's 50 meters away from where we were living, so it was nice. But the house was very old and needs a lot of work. But I think it would be nice to continue a little bit on this project.
Now, let me tell you a funny story. As you may know, I have to move this car between houses. And when I was driving it, the wheel felt like, towards the outside. Then I got out, put the car in jack stands, and then I realized that I messed up with the camber because I was reattaching the screws for the wheel bearing housing. So the steering was strange. But how did I try to fix it? Well, I tried to level the car in a flat surface, also check the camber angle on the sides, and then try to adjust it. As you can see, 88 point something. But guess what? It didn't work. And then moving to the sway bar bushing, I didn't attach it correctly, and I didn't know why. I couldn't even apply 25 Newton meters. And as you can see here, it was the other way around. So I had to swap them. But let's continue.
Now I think it looks okay. I cannot tie it to 25 Newton meters for some reason. So if you could tell me what I'm doing wrong, would be very nice. Now, the brake pad, which is larger, goes on the outside. Then the notches need to go always behind or on the left-hand side of the wheel bearing housing. And here at the bottom, you can see how the bearing housing is in the middle, where the notches where the interfaces. Then you have part of the brake caliper on the right-hand side and part of the brake pad on the left-hand side.
Let's proceed with the second funny story with this sort of time-lapse. So you can see I'm about to purge the braking system, starting with the rear brakes and continuing with the front ones. And there's something strange. And I created some pressure, but something going on. The reservoir is empty. And I don't really know. Oh, there it is. Yes, there's a leak. Oh my God. Oh no, not just one. Let me remove it. Yeah, but the second one. Now it's freak out moment. Oh my God, I need this. Maybe it's the banjo bolt. No, it looks quite tight. Okay, let's go below. Okay. I need another torch. Where's the torch? Oh man. Oh, there it is. Mess.
I know, beginner's mistake. Before I had one right here. Now you need to have two. And this is what happens. Well, nothing major. I will clean up and continue.
The $1,000,000 question. Am I finished with the braking system? Nope. But at least I get a bit more confidence from the front end. Now we need to move back and take a look at the rear end. So the rear drum brakes and the handbrake cable. I'm pretty sure they still need some love from my side. But that's something for the next episode, right? Oh, no. Maybe you are able to identify some component at the back of this room. Yes, there. Yeah, that's gonna be the next episode. Anyway, if you made it to here, thank you very much for watching and see you in the next one.